I was toting my pack along the dusty Winnemucca road when along came a semi with a high-end canvas.
Jim Heemstra and I were in the car coming back from a photo shoot in Chicago, and we started just brainstorming all the stories. If we had all the time and all the money in the world, what stories would we want to do? And one of the stories was we should do a story about an alum in all 50 states. And then we kind of laughed because nobody has that much time. It was ridiculous.
Good ideas are hard to say no to. And usually there's one big issue that always stands in the way of moving a good project forward, and that's funding. So one of the things that Carol and I spent some time talking about was, how does this really resonate across the association? But ultimately, what would it do for Iowa State University?
So it took about a year to sort of come up with all the plan to how we would actually make this work, schedule some of the travel, and come up with the funding.
It really put a face on the university. I've always believed that the best products we put out on this campus are our graduates. And we tell people all the time that we're everywhere. And not only are we all across the U.S., but we're just all across the world. But nothing tells that better than the faces of people and then their stories.
There was a lot of favorites. There was an awful lot of favorite photos. A lot of interesting people.
We spent time with so many different people that were just really fascinating. We spent a half a day or more with a Border Patrol agent. We went to the home of a woman who was one of the original editors of the old Betty Crocker cookbooks. She was really fun. She's about 80 years old.
They all had this common experience, and they all went out all corners of the country. And we tried to find people who were sort of ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
I wanted the reader eventually to be able to have something that they would keep on their coffee table, in their offices, that others could begin to learn about Iowa State University. This gave us an opportunity to communicate Iowa State beyond our alumni body.
It was really a 3-year project, and we kept it in front of people for the full 3 years. We talked about it in our newsletter. We put teaser stories and visions. I wrote about it in my column, and we had a blog that went for 3 years and told story after story after story. Nobody's going to throw this magazine away. It's big, it's beautiful, it's perfect bound. It looks like a book.
We've already been asked, are we going to do a Visions Across the World? Carol will have to fundraise for that on her own.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa.